We're going to get the show started. Welcome to the Game On and Beyond podcast. We have Zach. We have Nick. We got my dog running around the office. So if she makes a special appearance, we'll have you. So thank you for stopping in to our weekly video game news show where we talk about, stuff and things. We talk about video game news. We talk about video games we like. We talk about our new Taco Bell box meal that I pitched last week that I've been getting a lot of hits on. Just kidding. And I think this is going to be a good show. This is episode 10.
10.
10. Good job.
10.
Quick high five. Sorry, I make a lot of noise.
Dude, let's talk about that for a sec. How's it feel to get to the Big Ten, man?
Big
How you
Ten,
feeling?
it's been okay. The numbers are kind of all over the place, but what I think we've really been going for is just consistency and making sure that we're showing up each and every week. We're recording. We're trying to get a little better and tweak the show each and every time. And the content, I think, is what matters in the end. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited with where things are going. I'm kind of debating maybe putting our show into chunks like seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like season 1 is like episode like 1 through 10 or something, and this is like our season finale. But this would be a bad season finale because there's not a lot of great news. So
Yeah.
we'll whiteboard that idea and kind of see what happens. However, I am excited to talk to you today about some things. It's kind of a light news week, but first off, how are you doing?
Dude, life is good, man. I going on a little bit more personal. This past weekend, I went to Indianapolis to see a couple cool bands,
Heck yeah.
such as Hawthorne Heights and
Love it.
Chiodos. Man,
Woo, old school.
yeah, dude. Like,
I love it.
so Chiodos, their album All's Well That Ends Well came out in I think 2005, 2006. And they did a 20-year reunion tour for that.
That's awesome.
So they played the whole album.
Really?
Yeah. And some from their, I think their second album too.
Okay.
Dude.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was amazing. Man.
Awesome.
It was so good. The first two bands, the Callous Doughboys, and I think they're called Amur or something like that.
Okay.
They were really heavy and really good too. So shout outs to them. They only played about 30 minutes. But then Hawthorne Heights came out and they played a good majority of their first album.
Did.
And that was so good. The lead singer was you could tell this dude's like a Midwesterner.
Yeah.
Because he's like, man, I just love the Midwest. We're probably one of the softest bands on this tour right now, but man, we just give you that emotional feel and stuff like that. And he was just really kind of resonating with us as older people. Not super old, but people in our 30s and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just explaining how the music back then when we were younger is still so prevalent to how
Very
we
true.
feel today.
Very true.
So that's one
that
thing.
Midwest email sound.
Yeah. So they played majority of their first album, and they were just really down to earth and really cool.
Was it a big show? Was there a lot of people?
Yeah, there was over. It was a sold out show, and it was probably over 250 people there.
Really? Okay, so it wasn't massive, but it was that's a pretty big little venue.
Yeah. It I will say that the venue was kind of actually small too.
Okay.
We were really cramped in, to the point where on each side of the venue they had a VIP section, and I had to be on that VIP section, and they kept on telling me to step down away from it. But then after
but you just kept getting pushed up by the crowd,
yeah, exactly.
and then they friggin' beat you up in the back and
they did. They almost kicked me out 20 times.
get out of here.
But I said no. I'm a Midwesterner, and they're like, "Okay, Zach, no problem."
You said sorry. My heart's in Ohio,
"Dude, yeah."
and then they were like, "All right, that's the code word. You're in VIP now."
And if you do it, I'm gonna cut my wrist and black my eyes because my final breath is gone because I won't fall asleep tonight.
Tonight
So-
die.
So yeah, Hawthorne Heights, really good. They sound exactly like their CDs.
Really?
It's really perfect.
Okay.
And then Chiodos, dude, beautiful, amazing.
Nice. It's been so long since I've listened to Chiodos.
Dude, I'll send you a video of Baby When It Last a Minute in the Creek. But
Okay.
it's just Craig Owens. Shout outs to Craig Owens. He is an amazing lead singer. The guys in the band are just really cool people too, and it was just a great experience all over around.
Did you? Sorry, you may have said this right. Did you get to meet the band? Did you go backstage
No,
or anything
no.
crazy like that?
Nah, we didn't do like VIP or anything
Okay.
like that.
What about merch?
Merch? Yes, I got a Chiodos hat.
Oh shoot! Okay,
So I got
Chiodos.
the hat. I got
Nice.
the hat with the symbol and whatnot.
Love it.
Says Chiodos on the back too, which is cool.
Love it.
So yeah, this is.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of hats. So anytime I could get a hat like this, I'm down. Dude.
Okay.
It's great.
I
So
love it. Glad you had a blast.
great. Thank you, man. Great weekend. Indianapolis is it's a nice place. You
Yeah.
know, we're in a nice little area at the Vogue over there. Really solid time, man. It was good.
I love it. Yeah. Things have been good the last few days. I've been playing some video games.
Good.
We'll talk about that a little later. Been playing
Cool.
some Oblivion.
Very cool.
But no, things have been great. Things
Yeah.
have been great. Yeah, not a whole lot of changes. I haven't done too much. It's
Good.
been mostly work, taking care of the kiddos, taking care of the house. The weather's getting nicer. I gotta get out and mow the lawn.
Dude, I'm not looking forward to mowing.
I know my lawn looks like the friggin' jungle. When you walk into it, you gotta like weed whack to get to my front door. So
No, it's not too bad.
it's gonna be the weekend project.
Ah,
It's gonna
gotcha.
be my weekend project. But
Good stuff, man.
no, things have been pretty good. And you know what? Things are about to get gooder. If
Is that a
you're,
word?
If no, it's not a word. It's not a word.
Gooder.
But you know, I figured it helped me with the segue a little bit. It's about to get gooder
Yeah.
for Borderlands fans.
Oh snap.
Are you one of them? Do you love Randy Pitchford?
No.
Okay.
I don't like Borderlands.
We're
Sorry.
gonna talk about it anyway.
Yeah, we are. Dang straight.
So we have a Sony State of Play coming out tomorrow, revolving around Borderlands 4. Okay. Part of the announcement accompanying this State of Play was the fact that Borderlands 4's release date is getting pushed up, like 12 days?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. So it's due out originally September 23rd, but now it is going to be releasing on September 12th across PlayStation, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 2
Ooh,
when that eventually launches.
very cool.
So that's going to be pretty cool. So in this announcement, Randy Pitchford, who is the head honcho of Borderlands and the studio that develops it, he said, "Everything's going great, actually. In fact, everything's is going kind of the best case scenario." I don't know why he sounds like this, but I figured like I'd make him sound like this. "The game is awesome. The team is cooking. And so the..." That's what it says.
Let them cook.
And let them cook. And so the launch date for Borderlands 4 is changing. We're moving it forward. The launch date is now September 12th. What? That never happens, you guys. This never happens. We're moving the launch date forward. You're going to get Borderlands 4 earlier.
Why did he have to say it
Like
not,
that?
Not like that. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm an idiot, and that's the voice I imagined for him.
Fair.
So here's the real I think reason behind some of this news. We know that the juggernaut that is Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming. Fall of this year is kind of where people are putting it, right?
Yeah.
There have been rumors of potential delay. I've been reading of Grand Theft Auto maybe being pushed to next year. That's been a big rumor that's been coming out. However, there's a lot of games that are moving their release dates around or potentially not releasing release dates until they have a better idea of when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out so that they don't launch their game, Grand Theft Auto 6 don't launch, and then it just completely overshadows their title. So
Yeah,
there's a lot
smart.
of speculation that this move is a positioning of Borderlands around a potential Grand Theft Auto 6 date, which is leading up to its early release. So,
You know, hey, it's great, guys. It's 12 days early. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
however, there could be other motives involved, like potentially maybe some insider information on when Grand Theft Auto 6 could release.
Right.
So, speculation. Could we be seeing a September release for Grand Theft Auto 6?
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Are you going to play it?
GTA 6?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I mean, I didn't even finish like the fifth one.
Yeah.
And I didn't play it online, and I really am not like the biggest fan of the GTA series. There's like nothing wrong with it.
It's fun.
It's
fun to
fun.
jump into, but I'm not hardcore into it either.
Exactly. Yeah. So like,
But we can't deny that it's a huge release.
oh yeah,
Right?
Oh, this is gonna be if it releases this year,
Yeah.
it will no doubt be the biggest release, not only for this year, but for the decade, most likely.
Yeah.
So
Even bigger than Borderlands 4?
yeah,
Wow.
1000%.
Wow. Randy Pitchford's mind is blown. So anyway, I don't know why he also does that either, but I imagine him like the creature from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, where he's like,
Yeah.
so be on the lookout. We'll probably be talking next week a little bit about what's announced at the State of Play tomorrow. However, accompanying that is some interesting news for Fortnite players.
Ooh,
Right?
Fortnite.
So Fortnite did a Borderlands collaboration, like almost 5 years ago at this point. I think they've re-released it a few times. However, after a 1,794-day absence, the Psycho Bandit is back in the Fortnite shop.
Oh my lord.
Makes a lot of sense. So if you want to play as the Psycho Bandit, you know, the guy that has a little gun on his head his head, you can pick up the Psycho bundle which comes with the main man himself, the Psycho Bandit. Plus a every time we say Psycho Bandit, I have to like Psycho Bandit. Plus a claptrap back bling and some buzz axes to hack away with.
Oh, very cool.
It'll cost you 2,000 V-bucks.
So $20.
Which is around $20, right? So good news for Borderlands fans, maybe good news for Fortnite fans. I mean, my son and anyone who I know who plays Fortnite, that's their favorite part of the game is just the different skins, collaboration bundles, packs. I'm not gonna lie, I heard there's a solo leveling collaboration coming out for Fortnite, and I'll probably buy those skins. So I shouldn't talk crap.
Dude, speaking of skins, dude, have you seen the Overwatch Gundam Wing collaboration that they're doing?
No.
Bro, you got to look it up at some point.
Okay.
It is crazy.
You know,
Crazy good.
Not Battlefield. Call of Duty did a Gundam collaboration like a couple years back.
They did for
And they had,
Modern
like-
Warfare 3.
Yeah, they had like the Red Zaku and the Gundam RX-78, and oh man, that's cool.
I would have bought that.
I
would've ate it
love
up.
me some Gundam. I may not enjoy, Borderlands a lot, but I do love some Gundam. So
Gundam's great.
we got State of Play tomorrow, Borderlands. We got Borderlands Psycho Bandit skin coming back to the Fortnite store. That's pretty much all I have for that.
Cool.
Moving on, another game that I think has been probably received a little more excitement, a little more renown. Did you ever play Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2?
No, I have not. No, but I've heard only great things about it. I do want to try it out at some point, and I have a feeling it's gonna come on like PlayStation Plus in probably like the next like few years. So.
That would be pretty cool if it came out soon. There is a new patch being detailed that's coming out soon.
Okay.
Patch 8, which is bringing some fun times. So this game is obviously a third person, kind of like a hack and slash, light tactics game with your builds and things like that. A little bit of co-op involved in some cases. We're getting a horde mode for this game. Not a whore mode, but a horde mode.
Oh, like hordes of whores?
No, just hordes of demons and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just
So
make sure.
we're getting some new maps from Saber Interactive, a new game mode, which I think will help breathe some life back into the game a little bit. It's not dead by any means. It launched huge praise, especially for the franchise that's been around for like a zillion years. Mm-hmm. Very exciting game. Looks really fun. We got Patch 8 coming up soon. Let me see if there's a release date for it. No. There is a public test server coming soon where you can test it, and then the patch will be released soon after. So there's been an update to the game recently called the Trigon update, which added a new, what do they call them? Not expedition, but like these new operations that you can do with 3 people, all PvE. And now they have this horde mode. So horde mode is always fun for people, fighting zombies, fighting creatures, all that stuff. Increasingly strong waves of enemies, mixed with the fun kind of brutal gameplay that Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is known for. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I'm also been kind of waiting for a good sale on that game, if I'm being honest. It is a single player experience with some light like multiplayer. But here's the thing that like Baldur's Gate and like what was the other game we talked about where all their DLC stuff was free? I can't remember. All their updates have been free so far. So
Oh, that's
you
awesome.
buy the base game, you get all the little updates, the Trigon update, all that stuff, including this Horde mode that's coming out for free.
Oh,
So,
okay. Cool.
Good guy Saber Interactive.
Nice. Saber.
I'm
Good for
excited. In other news, not so exciting news, we have Respawn, which was a part of EA, getting some layoffs and some cancellations. So there was an incubation project in the works that was apparently canceled. And the rumor is that, oh, wait, hold on a second. No, this is really sad. So there's a rumor that this was apparently a Titanfall game, apparently an extraction shooter. So we all love extraction shooters, right? We talked about this with Marathon.
Yeah. Love it so much.
So at first I was kind of sad when I first read this because they talked about a Titanfall game being killed by Respawn, and I was like, oh man, that's sad, but it's an extraction shooter. So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still sad in general because it's Titanfall. It's what everybody wants.
it's what everyone wants, and it's sad because there's going to be over 100 employees that are apparently going to be affected by this. So that always sucks when there's job losses or layoffs or projects being canceled. That's never
Yeah.
fun for people who work on these things for like hours and hours and hours on each day. For those things just to be canceled and out the books. So it does stink. It's especially with, like we said, with Titanfall. I mean, people want that so badly. They've been asking for a Titanfall 3 since before Apex Legends came out, and we got Apex Legends, which was a popular game in its own right, but they're kind of even letting that game go out to die right now.
Oh, okay.
They're not doing like a ton of support for it. Obviously, they're updating cosmetics and purchasables within the game and doing some changes here and there, but I think that game, they've kind of taken a lot of that team and moved it to other places as well. So
yeah.
EA and Respawn specifically are getting hit just like every other video game company. It sucks to see projects canceled, but it might have sucked anyway because extraction shooters are like the new BRs right now, the new battle royale games. I feel like everyone is clamoring to make something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this what people want? I don't know.
I think that it's going to be like oversaturated, just like the hero shooter
Yeah.
genre will be. You know, because we have Tarkov, we have Marathon coming out, we have, I don't know, some other extraction shooters that have been out. That's the only thing is like the only ones that I really know of is like.
There's the Hunt Showdown. That's kind
Hunt
of
Showdown,
an
yeah.
extraction shooter. I think they've kind of molded that game into something a little more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But we might see the emergence of extraction shooters being like the new BR, being the new hero shooter, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, if you make a good one, it won't matter.
Nope.
We'll see if Bungie has that in Marathon, but it looks like Respawn will not have the chance to join in the fray.
That's sad, man. I mean, 100, especially 100 people,
Mm-hmm.
losing their jobs, and not only that, but it's from the Star Wars Jedi teams too.
Yeah.
Some people got canned from there,
Yeah.
which those games are beloved. They do really well.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate for them. So shout outs to those who lost their job, and we hope that you can get your footing back again.
Yes. Speaking of getting your footing and then losing it and
Yeah.
going wild, we've been talking over the last few weeks about the success of the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
I think it's reached over 100 or over 800 million worldwide so far. I don't think it's going to reach Mario numbers. However, it's probably going to end as like the second highest grossing video game film of all time, which would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're coming back to theaters with a new Block Party edition of the movie. And you know what? They're inviting you to go wild. Here's what they say. You know the moments. You know the lines. You love the songs. Now it's time to get loose. Laugh out loud and belt out those lyrics like a true Diamond tier fan. This was Warner Brothers. They're stupid. These are
Yeah.
the same people that canceled numerous projects.
Yeah.
Canceled the Wonder Woman game. They've spent $90 million on a Batgirl movie that they never released because it was cheaper just to write it off their taxes.
Of course.
Woo! Good guy, Warner Brothers. Anyway, the Black Party edition of a Minecraft movie screens Friday, May 2nd in North America and select international markets. Some of the screenings, okay, so we know how some of the screenings have gotten. I've talked a little bit about how crazy it got during the Chicken Jockey scene, how the director himself was like, oh, you're just throwing popcorn and stuff. Who cares? This is apparently like full on, like sing the music, get your popcorn, throw stuff, yell in the theater. Like they're pretty much inviting you just to have like a ruckus party while watching this movie. I'm not sure how much I'm into that because if I was in there with my kids, I'd be like, shut up.
I would be too.
You know,
I'd be
But
real mad.
the game, seeing the movie in itself is a meme nowadays. So, this only adds to that. So maybe they're trying to make a last minute push to get this thing some extra cash, before it's the end of its theatrical run, trying to get it up into that $1 billion kind of market. But, if you want to go crazy, you want to throw some popcorn, you want to scream chicken jockey a little bit, go see Minecraft on May 2nd. Have a block party.
So it's like, basically they're making it so that like people can just like sing along and like extend the movie or something?
It's
I don't...
literally like I don't even understand, to be honest, what this is. It's just like it's almost like they're just kind of encouraging you to just like all go out and just have a blast like people have been having at this movie, like get even wilder, sing along, throw your popcorn, that sort of thing. I don't know. It kind of screams like of a desperation move, like, hey, everyone, really quick, let's go see the movie one more time. And just have a blast, like all the memes, right? Like let's go do the memes in the movie. Like it's almost like they're encouraging you to do that. So, money makes people desperate. Apparently, $800 million isn't enough for these people. No. They got to squeeze out that extra little bit of milk at the end.
Oh yeah, they'll probably just with this, they'll probably make another $100 million, just because people are going to go back to see it again.
That would be very interesting. So we'll see how this pans out. We'll see what kind of fun news comes out of this. We've seen all the memes of people throwing, like people have been bringing like live chickens to these movies and like throwing them around the theater.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen like people like dress up as the chicken itself and like go around and have their friends on their back, like just like yelling and like throwing their popcorn and their drinks at the screen and stuff. It's the
director
wild.
loves it. He was like, I don't understand why people are calling the cops on these people. It's like, dude, it's because they're destroying the movie theater.
Just imagine you're at like Movies 14, all right? You know how they have those like seats, those luxury seats or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, and like you're the cleanup guy after the movie and you're like, dude, these like $1,200 chairs.
There's just
blood.
There's just blood and root beer all over the place, and popcorn and feathers,
children's blood.
Children's blood everywhere from all the screaming and throwing of things.
That's wild.
So go out there, get your block party on, give them some more money, or don't. It's your choice. But Warner Brothers, they have a hit on their hands, and they're trying to capitalize.
Shout outs. I mean, if they have the opportunity, if the movie was a meme and then became a bigger meme, and you want to capitalize on it,
yeah, it is lame when executives kind of miss the point of that social moment, and they try to just force it and force it and force it. A couple years back, remember when that movie Morbius came out with Jared Leto? It was like the worst movie of all time or some shit.
Yeah.
So that movie, a meme spawned from that movie, the It's Morbin Time thing. Remember that? That trended so hard, and Sony was so stupid that they thought that it was gaining like meme popularity through the Morbin Time meme.
Yeah.
So they re-released the movie. And then it made like less money than it made the first time.
They re-released
it for like a weekend because they thought that the Morbin Time meme would mean that people would go back, to almost make it like a social circle.
Yeah.
And it lost money.
Dummies.
So executives have no idea what people want. They just see people doing something and they're like, keep doing that, replicate.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Now let's shift focus.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, we talked about epic failures. We talked about layoffs, but we're going to talk about some success.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'll start off with the news about Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, and then I'll let you kind of share some of your experiences with the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So the RPG, which we've been speaking about, I think we started talking about it last week. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 tops 1 million sales, $1 million in sales in its first 3 days. It got off to a flying start. It apparently had sold 500,000 copies within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So they said this is Kepler Interactive put out a quick announcement, and here we are, 3 days after launch, 1 million copies sold. Thank you for believing in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. They're happy. People are happy. What do you think about the game?
Oh my God, guys! Listen, all right. I don't really speak on games like so highly all the time. But this game is what I literally call, if I could give it a rating, my highest rating, I consider it the gamer's game.
I give it a Zach out of Zach.
The gamer's game, dude. This is one of the best turn-based RPGs I ever played. So I wrote a few notes about the game and like some of the things that I love and some of the things that they could work on.
Okay.
So
Wait, really quick, can I ask you a question?
yes, sir.
What you don't have to go into a huge detailed summary, but like give our viewers and myself a quick like what's the game about?
Yeah, so Clair Obscure Expedition 33 takes place in a beautiful fantasy of the Belle El, it's like Opque, which is French for the beautiful era setting, essentially.
Okay.
Every year for the past 67 years, the people of the isolated island of Lumiere have suffered an event called the Gommage,
Okay.
where a goddess known as the Paintress paints an ever-decreasing number, and all humans with that age above that number disappear, essentially. Every year after the Gommage, Lemire sends an expedition of volunteers to head to the mainland in an effort to slay the Paintress.
Oh, so they want to kill this god.
Yes, pretty much. And then Expedition 33 is the latest to set out. So,
Okay.
so you have 4 main characters currently at the moment. In the beginning of the game, there's like a lot more, but there's a certain part that happens.
Everybody dies.
Pretty
Just
almost.
don't spoil it. Don't
I
spoil
mean, like, yes, yes. There was a lot of like turmoil that happened, and it's like when they first got on the island itself. This is when it happened. I won't say what happened, but
it. Like shit hits the fan.
pretty much, yeah. And everybody kind of disperses, and then throughout the game, you find your comrades and stuff. And
Yeah.
while you're exploring this land, essentially.
I love that.
So the game is absolutely beautiful, man. It is probably one of the best RPGs that I've ever seen, that I've actually like, laid eyes on. What's really cool too is that there's like on the world map, it kind of looks like all the areas kind of look the same, but once you go into the main areas, like that, they're kind of like more like zones, kind of like how Pokemon Sword and Shield were.
Yeah.
You kind of just go into a zone area and then you explore that and whatnot. They have their own differences and like different styles too, which is really cool.
Okay. So this is all turn-based combat, like akin to like I don't have a lot of experience in this genre, but like Final Fantasy VII is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying this is actually like a French version of Persona,
Okay.
which is really crazy.
That's a good. That's a pretty good compliment. I feel like people love Persona.
Very much so. I mean, I love Persona and the way that it looks and like the combat in itself there. It's really great. Turn-based RPG. It's fast. It is very how should I say? Like so like how I can say it is this. Like there's a jump button
Oh.
in the battle. So there's a parry, there's a dodge, and then there's a jump button.
Interesting.
And you know, like when say like an enemy like slash like does like a sweep down, it'll like show like a little symbol, and then your characters will jump, and then you hit R2, and then they do like a combined attack on the enemy.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
And when you dodge, it basically gives you there's things called AP, which
Okay.
is basically like the ability points. That's like your MP.
Okay.
And when you attack and you do certain things, you gain MP or the AP.
Yeah.
And then you use that to use like special attacks and stuff.
Very cool.
So, yeah, like when you dodge and whatnot, that gives you some AP, as well as when you parry, it actually like shows you parrying them, and then you actually like hit them.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like a counter attack.
So you control like everyone at once, or is it still that turn?
Yeah, it's still
Okay.
turn-based essentially,
Okay.
but there are certain times where like there's attacks where the enemy will attack everybody.
Oh, and you have a chance to kind of do a group dodge, group parry. Like that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Okay. I love that.
So there's element attacks and stuff like that. There's like fire, ice, electric, and then there's like a colorist, like a holy and a dark type of
Yeah.
element to it. And yeah, like each character has their own different kind of mechanic. So like there's a girl who like uses cards essentially, and then there's like a card mechanic in that.
Interesting.
Where there's another girl who does like she's a fencer, but she uses different stances.
Okay.
And with whatever attacks you use, you can like change different stances, and then you can combine like certain attacks to that you used on, like, say you use the dude who used a special attack to mark a enemy,
Okay.
which is like a special buff that makes it so that the next attack that hits that enemy does more damage. Yeah, you can just like
I love
combine
that.
stuff.
Kind of like combine stuff, buff, debuff.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. That sounds cool.
Very French inspired game. Obviously, you know, the creators, Sandfall Interactive, this is their first game. They're a French company, essentially. So they just have a lot of like French type of inspiration.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's a lot of like cool music in it too. Like what's really cool too is that the different areas have different music, but then like the like different enemies will have their own theme song
Okay.
for the music, so it changes all the time.
Okay.
But it's so good.
Okay. So
Like-
they have like unique themes mixed with like the standard kind of battle
Yeah,
tones. Okay.
exactly. And like the world map, you know how like world maps they have like the same music throughout the whole thing. Well, when you go to different areas, the music changes in the world map,
Okay.
which is really cool. So yeah, man, it's just, and like the freaking story and like how the characters like interact with each other, you can just tell how much hell they're going through.
Okay.
And they express that in there with like the people that they lost, especially in the like at the beginning of the game, like before you set off for the expedition. Like there's a scene that happens, and man, like I was bawling my eyes out
Shit.
because it like hit me emotionally.
Okay.
It hit me emotionally like The Last of Us did, at like what the first game did, where
Ooh, okay.
where the pivotal scene of Joel's daughter happens. So yeah, man, like I just I don't really have anything bad to say about the game, really. I mean,
Okay.
it's just an amazing game for the price that it is, and for how long we've been waiting for this game.
Yeah.
It's just they just knocked it out of the park.
$50?
$50. Yep.
What a deal.
And the only two things that I could say is that are negatives that are so microscopic to me, because this game just hits me with so much good. The dungeons. So you get a map in the world map.
Okay.
So it kind of like shows you like where you've been, like where you can go and stuff like that. But when you're in these like zones or these areas in which, you know, you're fighting monsters and stuff, dude, there's no map. So it's kind of, I get lost in these areas
Okay.
because there's no like waypoint to like, which is
So
good.
is
in a
it
way.
is it supposed to be like an exploration kind of focus to the game, or is that just kind of like a mechanic to make it not as easy to find stuff?
I think that's what it is. It's a mechanic
Okay.
to make it so that you can
Little bit
find
of
stuff
challenge.
easier. Yeah, and it's not like a what do you call it? It's not like an Elden Ring thing. It's like it's like yeah, and with these zones and whatnot, essentially, it's kind of like you load into a zone and then you like go through it.
Okay. So it's not like an open world map necessarily.
It's kind of like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, so you just walk to the different.
Yeah.
And then you're there in the zone. Okay.
But it has that world map that you can like get on like a certain type of like boat or like a flying vehicle.
Okay.
And you can like explore certain things. Now this one is more of it's like big monster looking dude that's he's really nice and he's like really chubby and he's just cute and
Okay.
stuff. So he's kind of like he helps you like navigate through like certain areas, like you can
Transportation.
swim and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then
How far are you into the game?
I am, from what my PlayStation's telling me, I'm about 33% way.
Oh, snap. Okay.
And I've played 15 hours,
Okay.
which is
So it's a beastly game.
So,
Chunky.
yeah, so and not only that, man, but like once this game gets done, then the end game is like opens up even more.
Really?
And it becomes like a second game in itself. It reminds me of how Dragon Quest XI did it, where that you beat the bot, like the main guy, and then they're like, okay, here's more to do in the story, but it's also the end game at the same time.
Okay. Is it like a new game plus kind of thing, or is it literally more story? Like
It's more story.
More story. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so it's more story, more stuff, and then you can go and do new game plus again, which is what I'm gonna do to clean up trophies and stuff.
That's awesome. That's
So-
really cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So it is, man. If you're turn-based, if you like turn-based games and you want to sit down and like have like a really good time with some great characters, amazing combat, as well as just like an amazing world to explore,
Yeah.
Expedition 33, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 is the game.
Gets a Zach out of Zach.
Yes, it is literally what I call the gamer's game, meaning that is the highest rating for anything I could give it. It basically just
gamer's game.
Yeah.
Boom, and a big seal of approval or something pops up.
Yeah, dude.
Gamer's game.
Yeah, man. It's I when I first laid eyes on this game, I knew it was something special, and I can confirm
Cool.
that it is definitely an amazing game and something very special.
I love that.
So if you're into turn-based video games, like turn-based combat and anything like that, with an emotional story,
I just smashed my mic.
highly recommended.
Is it just for PS5?
No, so it's we got PC, Xbox. It's on Game Pass.
Okay.
It's free.
Wow.
on
Okay.
Game Pass,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And then and then PlayStation 5 essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get it anywhere where your heart's content.
I love that. We had last week 2 awesome games drop.
Yeah.
We had Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, and then the shadow drop of Oblivion,
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 3. So that is cool to see 2. Well, obviously one's a new game, one's kind of like a 20-year-old game. However, it's cool to see 2 well-priced games kind of launch and both receive some solid critical acclaim
Yeah.
and make some good sales numbers. That's awesome. I'm excited. Maybe I'll play it when it's on sale.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, shoot, I wish I got it digitally. I should have bought it physically, so I could let you buy it.
Damn, it doesn't matter anyway. They probably would just not. They probably would just give me a code in the box.
Fair.
Like Nintendo.
I mean, hell, like most games nowadays, they're physical games, but now they're like, okay, here, pop in the game. Here's the key, but you're gonna have to download the whole game.
Exactly.
afterwards.
You can't use it without this anyway. So it's like.
So that's why everybody should just download the games digitally.
So get out there and no, not illegally.
Not illegally, digitally.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly,
Digitally.
for the most part, that's where stuff goes. I mean, there's a whole nother conversation we can have about that because that is the way gaming seems to be going and just media in general. Like it's been going away from physical media for so long. And that's cool because it saves you space and you can have it everywhere. But then it sucks because that means that anytime they can just be like, yoink,
Yep.
it's gone. Oh, hey, actually, we changed the story. We changed the main character. We changed this. We changed that. And you just got to deal with it because you don't own it.
True.
Because you buy it, but you don't really own it. You're buying like an end user licensing agreement with these companies, essentially. Like you're signing a contract. So,
You can play with this toy
Yeah.
if you want, but also you don't own it.
but we have the right to take the toy away or make the toy smaller or make it shittier or make it bigger at any time. And you just have to deal.
Pretty much.
But anyway, speaking of things that have gotten shined up and made better, on top of Clair Obscur, we have the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which so far in less than 5 days has amassed a massive player count of 4 million players.
Damn.
That's pretty cool. I've been spending some time in Elder Scrolls. Not like I don't think I've played 15 hours, but I played probably like 5 hours of
Sure.
Elder Scrolls. I forgot how massive Bethesda games are. I still have just gotten to the first Oblivion gate because on the way there was like 6 little dungeons that I just ran into. I'm like, oh, I better do that. And, so the game is great. $50. This was also free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And then they released it on PlayStation and PC. So amazing launch for Oblivion. I've had a great time doing it. I would highly recommend it, probably for people who are a fan of these kind of games, because it can be very overwhelming. I think that's my really only criticism for the game. The graphics are incredible. I played through the opening storyline and obviously like an hour or 2 of gameplay. Amazing graphics. It looks honestly more like a remake than a remaster
Yeah, I agree.
in terms of not just how the game looks, but also like the character animations and the models. Bethesda always has this wacky look to their NPCs, but they actually look pretty good and their mouths move appropriately now, which is really cool. But the game is essentially Oblivion with like a huge coat of paint, over it to make it better. So they really wanted to keep the bones of the game alive. So there's still like fun little bugs and just things like that in the game that are 20 years in the making, but it has this beautiful coating over it. So for a 20-year-old game, 4 million players is a huge accomplishment.
Pretty big.
I'm having a good time with it. I would recommend people pick it up. $50 seems really ridiculous that we're like lauding how cheap that is, but $50 for a game in an era where we're about to start paying like $100 for video games seems insane to me, especially when you get such good quality out of both of these titles. So
Yeah.
I won't go into it too much, but I'm having a great time with Oblivion. It looks great. It plays great. I will say I'm playing an archer, and I kind of hate it. I kind of hate the shooting mechanic. I turned off aim assist isn't on by default, but I might turn it on.
Sure.
Because I find myself just wasting tons of arrows because I can't hit anything. So that's maybe more of a skill issue. But the game is great. Pick it up. You can lose yourself in this thing. The world is massive. For a 20-year-old game, like I said, I was surprised with how much I was able to just get sidetracked and just get lost in all these little mini stories and mini dungeons and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
it holds up really well. As I've said a million times, I have nothing but recommend for this game. Pick it up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about it.
Is the combat pretty good still? Is it
Combat's pretty good. They've done some improvements to melee mechanics.
Yeah.
I've been mainly doing a ranger type character. However, when I did pick up the sword and fight, like it feels nice and tight. They added in, they have their first person mode, but they have like a true third person mode as well. So there's 3 different frames of reference, I guess. There's the first person, there's an over the shoulder third person, and then another over the shoulder that kind of expands even more.
What?
So I play in the third person a lot because it helps with the sneaking mechanics.
Yeah.
Because you get like sneak attack when you like hide in the shadows and shoot people with your bows and arrows.
Cool.
So I've noticed like hit registration's good for a melee game. The ranging stuff is kind of tough. Spellcasting I haven't really dove into, but the game plays really well. And again, the sense of exploration you get when you first drop into the realm of like Cyrodiil or whatever it's called is crazy. It's almost overwhelming, like not in a bad way, but almost like the possibilities feel endless when you first drop in.
When you're talking to NPCs, does it zoom into their face?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
It still does that thing where it's like, hey, neighbor, and then it gets really, really close to you.
That's so cool because like that charm from that is it was like kind of haunting at first, but like it kind of as like the game like
Bethesda NPCs look just even in like Starfield, it's almost the exact same.
Yeah.
The characters are always like their eyes are really open wide and they're like, hey neighbor.
Yeah, dude. That's how some of Claire Obscura is too. Like when you're in some of the cutscenes, you can like see like it looks like their eyes are about to like gouge out of their freaking skull. And it looks hilarious.
Yeah.
So I get that, man. 1000%.
No, it's really cool. Another little interesting story that came out of Elder Scrolls also is they reached out. So there's a team of developers, like indie developers, that were remaking, I believe.
It was like Skyblivion or something.
It's called
right?
Skyblivion. It was like Oblivion and Skyrim like remastered, and they pretty much did a huge remaster of their own of Oblivion and Skyrim.
Cool.
And so a lot of the community were kind of like, well, you release this game, you're gonna kill the fan made project. Bethesda and their company Virtuos, is it Virtuous Studio?
Yeah.
They sent the team of Skyblivion each a copy of Oblivion for free, and I even asked them for feedback, on certain parts of it. So
Cool.
obviously, they're like, hey, help us with our game, help us with our game. But it's cool to see that there's no animosity between Bethesda and the company or the independent guys that are working on that, independent guys and gals. They're still going to release Skyblivion.
Cool.
They said that this doesn't hinder that whatsoever, and Bethesda isn't doing that shitty thing where they're like, well, our remake's out, so now you got to stop your remake.
What would be really cool that Bethesda could do is hire those guys.
That'd be cool.
That'd be even
offload
really
some
cool.
work. Offload some work to them, like an independent studio or something of that nature. I think that would be cool. Seeing this, I never played Skyrim. Playing this game really makes me want to play a better looking, better playing Skyrim. I know that's stupid to say because there's been 100 versions of Skyrim that have come out the last couple of years.
Yeah.
However, I'm looking forward to a potential remaster of that too. That'd be cool if they could just combine both of these games into like a giant just Elder Scrolls game where you can go into both regions and play Skyrim and Oblivion in like a giant world together.
I think they have that with what's it? The Elder
Scrolls
Online.
Online. Jinx. Double Jinx.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. There you go.
No, I know. I never really got quite into that, but maybe I need to give it another shake. But
Yeah, dude.
I'm excited. A lot of good news coming out of these two games. A bright spot for gaming as we're kind of waiting for new games to come out this year. As we have some bad news, from developers losing people. It's cool to end on a high note.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yep.
That's all the news I got. What about you?
Off the top of my head, man, everything's good.
Everything's good. I'm
Good.
excited. We'll have more news for you next week, probably with some stuff coming from the State of Play for Borderlands 4.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll get some neat information about some other rumors that have been kind of swirling around the gamer sphere that we'll talk about next week. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Yep. Same here.
But yeah, so this is episode 10. As always, you guys can help us for free in a couple different ways. One, click the link, give a little thumbs up, subscribe for free, type a little comment. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us what you like, maybe things you want to see on the show. Feedback's always good. Keep it civil, keep it nice, especially with each other.
Yes, sir.
But those are some amazing ways you can help us grow for free. Other than that, I'm Nick, this is Zach, and this has been Game On and Beyond. Peace.
No. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. See you later. Yeah, that's